Okay, statistics review for the final. Okay, number 1, parameter statistic. 1A says average for all. Okay, it says all. That makes it a parameter. Okay, this is 1A. Parameter means, it's messy. Parameter means all, everything. Okay, B says a sample of students. Since it says sample, that means it is a statistic. Okay, a sample means part, so that's a statistic. Okay, number 2 says quantitative or qualitative. Okay, green eyes is a characteristic, so that's qualitative. Okay, which means a quality, a characteristic. Okay, I subscribe to 3 streaming services. Okay, that's an amount, so that's quantitative. Think of quantity, quantitative. Okay, and then we have some calculations for the rest. Number 4 says the mean of some numbers. Okay, so you're going to add up the numbers. The mean is like the average. And divide by how many. Okay, so the total is 498 and divide by how many numbers. So the mean is 83. Okay, the median, you average the 2 in the middle when it's an even number of numbers. Okay, the median is the middle. Okay, when you have 6 numbers, there's not an exact middle, so you average the 2 in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to add them up and divide by 2. Okay, if you have an odd number of numbers, there is an exact middle. Okay, like if you have 1, 3, 9, 10, 11, 9 would be the middle. Number 6, the mode is the most often. Okay, so that would be 81. Okay, the range, you take the high minus the low. So that would be 94 minus 71 is 23. Okay, number 8, we're going to find the sample standard deviation. You take each number minus the mean, square them. Okay, this symbol means to add them up, and divide by n minus 1. Okay, I'm going to try to fit this all on a page. Okay, it looks real nice and neat in the document that's in Canvas. Okay, so I need to take, let me see if I can make this skinnier. 71 minus 83. 83 because it's the mean. Okay, you subtract the mean. 81 minus 83. Okay, and we're squaring them. Okay, there were two 81s. Okay, 83 minus 83. 88 minus 83. And 94 minus 83. Okay, each number subtract the mean. Okay, this whole thing is our square root, and it's all over n minus 1. N means there were 6 numbers and minus 1. Okay, so I need to do all those subtractions. I'm just going to make that square root symbol go over that whole thing. Okay, so I need to do each of those subtractions. 71 minus 83. 81 minus 83. 81 minus 83 again. 83 minus 83. 88 minus 83. And 94 minus 83. On bottom, 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay, notice that the negative numbers are in parentheses squared. That's so we know to do negative 12 times negative 12 is positive. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive. 0 times 0, 5 times 5, 11 times 11. Okay, we need to add the top. You divide. The whole thing's in that square root. Okay, that division problem's in that square root too. So you divide. The last thing you do is take the square root. That's wrong. Okay, take the square root. Okay, it says round to tenths, so that would be one place value. Okay, the 2 after the 7 tells us to leave this 7. Okay, number 9, it says find the z-score. You take the number minus the mean, divide by the standard deviation. Okay, it says find a z-score for x equals to 64. The mean is, and the standard deviation is. Okay, remember when you're reading those sentences in your problem on your paper, you want to circle. Okay, so the z-score, take the number minus the mean, divide. And that equals negative 1.785. It says round to hundredths, so negative 1.79. Because the 8 is the hundredths, the 5 after it tells us to go up. Okay, number 10, there's 10 patients. 3 need to be discharged. Okay, what's the probability you go to a room where a patient needs to be discharged? That would be three patients out of 10 patients. Okay, the rest of the test uses your table, your Z-score table. Okay, number 11. Oh, first let's review. P stands for probability, which always needs to be between 0 and 1. Okay, remember that the table gives you the area to the left, always to the left. So number 11, the probability that Z is less than 1.13, less than is the left. Okay, let's not say it, let's say look up Z equals 1.13, and that is 0.8708, and that's our answer. Okay, what about the probability that Z is greater than? Okay, that's the right. Remember, the left and the right make up one whole. So you look up Z is negative 1.34 and do 1 minus that. So when you look up negative 1.34, you get 0.901. 1 minus that is 0.9099. Okay, a probability between. Okay, remember when you look up the bigger number, it gives you everything below, but we need to subtract off what's below negative 0.55. Okay, we need to subtract off what's below negative 0.55. So look up the big one minus look up the small one. So look up 1.55, subtract, look up negative 0.55, and the subtraction is your answer. Okay, 14, we're going to find Z this time for the 30th percentile. Okay, what does that mean? That means that area left to the left is 30% or 0.30. Since 0.30 is less than half, that means the area is on this left side of 0. Okay, remember 0 cuts off half, 0.5. So we need to look on our negative side. Okay, in the body of the chart, in the 4-digit numbers, try to look for 0.3000. Okay, that's between two numbers. Okay, and you find the one that's closer. Okay, this is 15. 100 minus 81 would be 19. So this is closer. Okay, that's the area, not Z. You look at your row and column. Okay, look at your row and column. It's on the negative 0.5 row and the O2 column. Okay, you look at the row and the column, and that gives you the z-score. Okay, number 15. I weighed 6.25 pounds. What percent weighed more? With a mean of 7.5 and a standard deviation of 1.3. Okay, so we have to change it to a z-score. Take the number minus the mean, divide. Okay, that's negative 0.9615. Round to hundredths because of the table. Round to hundredths because of the table. Okay, so we're finding the probability z is greater than because it said more. Okay, because it said greater than, we're going to do 1 minus. Look up z is negative 0.96, and you get that number. 1 minus that is 0.8315, which is 83.15%. Okay, we did that because it said percent. Okay, Chase was in the 95.54 percentile for weight. Okay, which means 0.9554 below. Okay, percentile always means how much is below. Okay, that means 95.54% of babies weighed less. Okay, since that's above 50%, we know it's on that right side. Okay, because 0 cuts off 50%, and this is much more than 50%. Okay, so first we need to find z. Okay, the question said, what? Find his birth weight. Okay, which means how much he really weighed. First, we need to find that z-score. Okay, so we need to look in the 4-digit numbers. Okay, we'll be on the positive side. We're trying to find 0.9554 in the body of the chart. Okay, now this is a nice one because it is there. Okay, you'll find that on the 1.7 row under the 0, 0 column. Okay, so that means the z-score was 1.70 or 1.7. Okay, so the z-score is 1.7, but that's not the actual weight. Okay, the formula, we know z, that's the standard deviation, which is given to us. It was told to us what? Okay, use the standard deviation was 1.25, and the mean that was given to us was 7.5. Okay, we found Z using the percentile. We were given this and given this. Okay, multiply and add. Okay, and that is the actual weight. Okay, the real value. And that's the end of our review.